Hello, welcome. We are jumping in quick, fast, and heavy. Stress, struggle. These are a part of life. Depending on how ambitious you are about your life and what it is you choose to create with your life, will kind of determine how much stress and struggle you have. There's the easy street, which a lot of people choose to take in life, and then there's a more challenging street. I find that business owners and entrepreneurs like you often take the high road. It's more challenging, but it's also more rewarding. The norm is to take the employee road and get a job so that you're just over broke and you have a ceiling to how much you can make, and it's a very limited experience, but it's very convenient and it's right there for the taking. So a lot of people do that. I myself used to be I myself am a recovering former employee. I was a chef and I was a banquet chef. And after working an entire year with overtime, I was, and I, first of all, I was making a really good hourly rate. Most people in the hospitality industry can make like $13. You might make up to $15 if you're really good. I was making $17. And after working full time plus overtime, after an entire year, I did not clear 50 grand gross income. And that's when I made the decision, this is just not going to work for me. I need something that has unlimited potential, unlimited possibility. And so I went into business for myself. I decided to support others, to operate from a present moment perspective. We'll dive into that in a minute, but right now we're focused on stress and struggle. If you can relate to that, let me know down below. Let me throw up. Oh, make sure you're following and unmuting. Obviously, if you see my lips moving and you're not hearing anything, make sure that you turn that mute button off and you're here listening to us today. So basically, this is all about our stress and struggle taking a toll and burning you out. I have a little known drug-free solution I want to share with you. Hopefully the algorithm doesn't pick that up as me hawking drugs, because that seems to be the norm these days, right? No matter your problem, there's a pill for it. No matter your disease, no matter what you're suffering with, Pfizer or Moderna or any one of them, they've got a pill for you. I mean, just turn on your TV and notice nowadays how many pharmaceutical commercials are there in a commercial break. I'm counting at least 3 in every commercial break. So they are taking over our world. And if you want to continue to just pop pills for the rest of your life, then by all means, support that. But I choose a more holistic approach, which is trusting my own innate abilities to, 1, heal myself, 2, protect myself from pathogens and viruses and all that stuff that they try to get us to believe we have no protection from, so that we have to buy their protection. Anyway, don't let me get off on a rant right now. I am diving in deep here. Let's see what my hair looks like. I put my hat on because my hair's a little grown out, but I'm going to let you enjoy my full glory. Here we go. So let's explore how misalignment is the #1 cause of stress and struggle in our lives. Yes, this is true. I will explain it to you clearly. I will give you 3 simple examples and a bonus if you want, and what to do about it. 3 simple examples of how misalignment are the cause of stress and suffering and struggling and suffering too. You could throw all 3 in there. Struggle, stress, and suffering. The 3 S's all are a result of a lack of alignment within ourselves. I will explain that through some simple examples of how misalignment affects the productivity of certain things in our life. You'll see. It'll make total sense, I promise. Just stick in there and hang in there and you will see for yourself. Moving along. How's everyone doing today? I'm glad you're here. Nice to see you. Anytime you gain value, please let me know by dropping a hashtag found fun down below so I know what to deliver in the future. If you engage with me on this video and show your support, I reward that kind of behavior because it means the world to me that somebody's paying attention to what I believe is the most important thing being overlooked in the world and in life today, which is I am the source of my reality. I create my reality, not the government, not big pharma, not big tech, not big ag. None of these guys have any say in what you create as your reality. They've all fooled us into believing we are helplessly dependent on the services they provide. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm getting to a point where I just want to check out of all of it, especially technology like big tech. Try to not use iCloud and see how far you get. Try to not use an iPhone or a Google smartphone. See how far you get. Try not to use Google to search something and see how far you get. They're literally taking over our lives, and we need to wake up to this very real danger of just handing it over to big business because they only have one agenda, folks. And don't buy the PR campaign. The truth of the matter is they have one agenda: profits. They have shareholders they must answer to, and the only way that you answer to a shareholder is by increasing your profits so that their shares increase in value. And hopefully you can give them a little bit of a dividend. That's all that's really on the board. The rest is all secondary fluff that they might wheel out in a marketing campaign or in a PR campaign to make sure that everyone believes that they really do care, that it's just not about profit. But we know better, right? So let me know anytime you gain value, drop a hashtag found fun down below, and I will definitely make it a point to reach out and thank you for that in a very special sort of way too. You might be surprised. Moving on. Just like I said, please share your support. Like and follow me on Facebook, on my YouTube channel, which gets no traction. I would love for you to head over to YouTube and throw up some love over there if you ever find yourself on YouTube, which a lot of us do these days. It seems to be one source of uncorrupted information that we can get is off of YouTube. Everything else seems to be highly doctored and oddly identical from one station to the next station, from one media company to the next media company, almost as if they were sharing the script with each other. Anyway, I won't get into that. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to really recognize how misalignment within ourself is the cause of struggle and stress. So definitely show me some love. Follow and like my page and my profile on Facebook, and also share this video with anybody that you care about that is struggling or has a lot of stress in their life, because there is a way out. Nobody needs to struggle or have stress or suffer in life. There's an option. There is always a way out if you believe there is. I'm coming across all sorts of amazing people that I looked up to, influencers on the internet, on YouTube, and a lot of them are catching the vid. I'm not going to say the full word just in case it gets flagged, still to this day, because, right, they don't want you to get the real information. They want you to have their information. I see a lot of these influencers catching that thing and getting long vid or whatever you want to call it nowadays. And it's really devastating to me to see somebody struggling with this easily defeated virus. If you have a healthy body, a healthy mind, and immune system, it's no big deal. I went through it. It was very uncomfortable. I couldn't move for days. I was so lethargic, so absolutely just wiped out energy wise. Lots of hot, what do they call those? Fever and sweat at the same time. Not hot flash. I don't know what they call that. A lot of sweating and having a fever at the same time, but that's the body doing its thing. So I suffered through a few days of having it, and now I am super super grateful for having gone through that experience and being able to rest on the belief that my natural immunity is superior to any man-made version of that. Where did I go? I just went off on a tangent there, didn't I? I love the support, guys. Share this video with people that are struggling, people that might have that very popular disease today, definitely, and still struggling with it. It's just awful, absolutely awful. Okay, moving on. Enough of that. As a thank you, for those of you that are here and attended live, I'm giving away a free complimentary firsthand experience of a taste of a present moment perspective where stress and struggle melt away effortlessly. This is a $350 value. I'm giving this away, but there's a catch. You got to play the game to win. And I'll show you what that is real quick here. Bottom line, this is how it works. Oh, hi. I'm so glad to see you on here. What are you doing, Young? Nice that you're here again and watching this video and participating. I love it when people participate. Let me know you're here. Drop a comment down below. Throw up some love, hearts, likes. You know what to do. You know the drill. Everybody knows the drill by now. It's a matter of you communicating what it is you enjoy and like to the algorithm that then spits that back into a system that shares it with more people close to you, and people that are looking for what you like. Don't try to ask me to explain how that whole thing works, other than it's very, very hush hush and trade secret, I guess. Because otherwise, if there was transparency there, we might see the shady business they got going on in their algorithm, but we probably won't. So we'll move on from that. How it works. If you would like to win a free taste of a present moment perspective, a $350 value, this is how it works. Comment, drop down below, present. That's all, present. That is my cue to respond and reply to you with a moment. Then from there, that's your cue to finish the phrase by responding with a perspective. Present moment perspective. See how I'm doing that? You're going to help me a lot by playing this game, because it is going to increase the engagement on my video, which will increase the reach, which basically means I'll reach more people that are struggling and suffering unnecessarily in life. That's all I want to do, is free people from the burdens of being human. Most of them manufactured burdens. You go out into nature, if you're at all a person like me that enjoys immersing yourself in nature, pay attention, look around, and ask yourself from awareness if everything isn't in harmony, if everything isn't in a beautiful universe, one song, a beautiful dance, all cooperating in a what's the word? I forgot it. Symbiotic. All cooperating in a symbiotic relationship, one benefiting the other. For the most part, that's my experience when I'm out in nature. That is our natural state, folks. Effortless and joyful is the natural state of a human being, not struggle and stress. Got it? Awesome. All right. So basically, welcome to the Found Fun Discovery Method. That is the umbrella of my entire program. And it is based on, just like you can see right up, gosh darn it, right up there, foundations of fundamentals. I shortened that because it's a lot. When you focus on building foundations of fundamentals in your life, regardless the subject, all that's left is to have fun. You have found fun. Making sense? The Found Fun Discovery Method is about focusing on building foundations of fundamentals. In this case, with this subject, it's the fundamentals of being human. How we operate. Every time you go and buy a new gadget or a new tool or a new whatever, it comes with a nice little operator's manual that shows you the ins and outs, how to make it function to get the most out of it, etc., etc. Well, when we were born as human beings, I don't know about you, but I did not get a manual. I had to wing it. I had to rely on my parents to teach me how to be a human being. I had to rely on society. I had to rely on teachers. And who do you think they were relying on? Yep, it's kind of like the telephone game. They were relying on their parents. And who do you think they were relying on? So the information we have today on how to operate as a human being is highly corrupted. Just because of the telephone game where something gets passed and a little something is lost. Something gets passed and a little something is lost. Well, I like to pride myself on having rediscovered the true essence of what it means to be a human being and the fundamentals behind that, how it is that we create our reality, and what is this thing called a present moment. Why do I need to know it as a firsthand experience in my life? Why can't I just be like everybody else out there and just struggle with a whole bunch of stress that leads me to an early grave and an unfulfilled life? Why can't I just be like the rest of the employees out there that are just doing what they're told, that are playing small and not rocking the boat too much in society? Because right now, the boat needs to be rocked, folks. We have got to wake up in a real big sort of way to what's really going on. And one of the places to do that is the present moment. You cannot have the wool pulled over your eyes when you are present. It's an amazing, amazing experience. So that's where the Fun Found Discovery Method starts, with my new spotting proprietary technique called new spotting, which is all about getting you into a present moment perspective. From there, it's learning to operate from that present moment perspective, which is the more the follow-up trainings to the basics, to the foundation, which is a present moment perspective precedes everything in my work. All right, moving on. Any questions? Let me hear from you down below. If you have any questions, I would love to hear about them from you. Very much so. In any case, I would love to hear from you. Please, down below, please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're watching from and what your expertise is in, right? I focus on helping experts and entrepreneurs making a difference in this world. Take this opportunity to shout at the top of your lungs what it is you're an expert in. What is it you believe you have a lot of experience with that makes you an expert? I want to hear about it down below. And I also want to know where you're from, because it often turns out that people from Australia, people from Europe, all kinds of people randomly land on this video. It's not random, of course. When you work with me, you understand how intention works and how intuition works. And the law of attraction is an infallible natural law. Like energy attracts like. If you have an intention inside of you to be do, or have something, that is a magnetic charge that is drawing to you or drawing you to the solution, to the fulfillment of your heart's desire, the intention inside of you. So if you're here watching this, do not discount it as a random act, a coincidence, a coinky dink. You're here for a reason. Respect and honor your true self, your higher self that brought you here to listen to this video, and understand how it is that misalignment is the number one cause of struggling and stress in our life. So you ready to dive into that by now? It's already been 20 minutes. Let's do this. Let's get you some actual value for you to take home. Oh, also, yes, and very important, if you're catching the replay of this, not the live stream, but the replay, drop a hashtag replay down below so that I know you came here whenever. It could be a year from now, and I'll circle back around and make sure that you got your questions answered and that you gained some sort of value from investing 30, 40 minutes of your precious life force, your precious attention into watching this video to understand a little more how it is you create your reality. Well, you've heard it ad nauseum, and I'm going to keep hammering this home until people wake up to the very real, unnecessary problem of struggle and stress. So bottom line here, if you look at the bottom, I am waiting for it to scroll so I can be naughty and read it right off of the screen instead of looking at you and reading it from heart. Here we go. Life is already hard enough without us making it even harder on ourselves. Experts and entrepreneurs making a real difference in the world have an even higher bar than most. That's why there are so few of us. Have you ever wondered why there's so few entrepreneurs, so few small businesses, so few experts that are independent in this world, not part of some giant conglomerate, some sort of, it's massive consolidation time right now. We have like 5 giant corporations running everything that we depend on in life. That's where we get these big tech, big ag, big government. I don't know. A lot of big stuff out there, a lot of big brother that we don't need. So yeah, you see that you see that difference? You see why there's so few of us and why there's so many employees? Employees are easier to control. You can yank away, you can garnish their paycheck. You can take their taxes automatically. There's a lot of benefits to having employees versus business owners, small business owners, independent contractors. The government doesn't like this because they can't easily get their taxes that they want. Again, a little bit of a tangent. You will find that if you watch my videos that I go off the rails sometimes because I'm so passionate about what it is I'm here to communicate to you. So let's get to the real nuts and bolts of this thing, right? Where is it? I want to put up the title so you understand what we're going through. There it is. Let's explore how misalignment is the number one cause of our stress and struggle. I told you I would do this through 3 examples of misalignment, just in case it's not familiar. A lot of people understand misalignment as it pertains to machines, as it pertains to our teeth, right? The whole thing with braces and Invisalign is all about creating more alignment between your teeth, right? Your upper and your lower teeth. So you might understand misalignment from that place. But let's relate that to the human condition and what it's like to be a human being when it comes to misalignment. So number one example of misalignment causing stress and struggle in our lives is a square peg in a round hole. What am I talking about here? Do you ever get the feeling you're not doing what you're meant to be doing with your life? Do you ever doubt the direction you're headed in life? Do you doubt the career you have? Do you doubt the job you have? That's normal. Of course, we're going to question those things, especially our minds. Our minds love to question everything. But when it comes to struggle and stress, more often than not, imagine this for a second. Use your imagination and imagine a round peg in a square hole. This is where I wish I had some sort of guide, right? There you go. There's your round peg, and there's your square hole. Oh, look, it's on there, actually. That's cool. I love this thing. You ought to check it out. I got these in Maine. It says, oh, whoops. Sorry about that. What does it say up there? Create space. I love it. Anyway, square, round, right? They don't really work so well together. Square, a round peg and a square hole is one of the number one causes of stress and struggle. You're doing something you don't want to be doing, something you're not aligned with. You're in a relationship that is draining you. You're not aligned with it. You're in a job that is killing you. You're not aligned with it. You are a round peg trying to squeeze yourself into a square hole, and it's not working, and it's stressing you the F out. Is this making sense at all? This is the point I want to make when it comes to misalignment. When we're aligned with what we are doing day to day, moment to moment, it's joyful. It's fun. It's exciting. It's inspiring. Not so much exciting. That's more, we won't get into that right now. It's inspiring. You have enthusiasm to wake up and go to work because you love what you're doing, because you're valued, because your contribution is recognized and acknowledged. It just becomes effortless when you're aligned. If it's not effortless, take a step back and make sure you're not a round peg trying to fit in a square hole. Number one, example of misalignment. Simple, right? Easy to understand. Here's another one. Impatient early harvest. All right, so when it comes to misalignment, that can show up in a patience arena as well. Time, if you will, which isn't a real thing. It's a construct that we have. It's a matrix, if you will. It's an overlay on reality that we created so that we can make sense of it, so that we can track it, so we can chop it up and parse it out and organize our days. Ask nature about time, and they'll laugh. They'll be like, well, what do you mean? You mean the sun rising and the sun setting? That's about as close as we have to time here in nature. Not us humans. No, we got to complicate everything. We got to put it down to nanoseconds, right? So misalignment can happen when we are impatient, and impatience comes from the ego. Instant gratification. I want it right now. I don't want to work for it. I don't want to put in the time. I don't want to put in the effort. And when I say effort, this is not the kind of effort that comes from struggle. It's positive. It's good. It's good work because you're investing yourself in it, right? So when we put effort in something, when we invest ourselves into something, that's the right order of things. And it might take some time for it to actually show up. Everything in its own time. To everything, turn, turn, turn. To every season, turn, turn. Right? That's the whole point of it. So what might happen that leads to more struggle and stress is harvesting your fruits before they're ripe. That is definitely a major misalignment. If you go to bake a cake and it takes 40 minutes for that cake to bake in the oven and you pull it out in 20 minutes, what kind of cake are you going to get? Probably a cake that's going to stress you out. Probably a cake that's going to lead you to struggle to recover. But by that point, it's too late. Is this making sense? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to know that you are understanding the simplicity of how misalignment shows up in our life. We're either a round peg trying to fit in a square hole, or we're impatiently harvesting our fruits before they're ripe. That can also lead to stress and having to start all over again too. I mean, come on, you're baking that cake. You spent, I don't know, an hour prepping it, and then you spend another 20 minutes waiting for it to bake in the oven when it really took 40 minutes. If you only would have waited 20 more minutes, you'd have a delicious, perfectly fulfilling, satisfying cake. But no, you had to be impatient and harvest that fruit before it was ready. Pulled that cake out of the oven before it was ready. Now you got to start all over. Instead of waiting an extra 20 minutes for the cake to be done, now you got to invest another hour and 40 minutes in getting what you originally were attempting to get. But because of impatience, it became not ideal. Number 3 in my examples of misalignment, the riptide fight. If you do any swimming in the ocean, I'm here in Florida and I have the beach to enjoy. We often have riptide warnings regarding the beach. And if you live near the ocean or visited the ocean, you might have heard these things called riptides. Well, a riptide is I don't know the science behind it, but it's a strong pull out to sea. It's part of the process of the ocean and how it high tides, low tides. I don't know, but bottom line, a riptide is it's a pull out to sea. I believe it's like below the surface of the water that this riptide is pulling out to sea. I don't know what it is. Bottom line, if you get caught in a riptide when you're out in the ocean, it's going to pull you in whatever direction you want. The number one cause of people drowning in a riptide is because they fight against the current that's pulling them out to sea. They panic, they become desperate, and they start swimming like a madman to try to get back to shore. And with every stroke, they get farther out to sea and they exhaust themselves and they eventually drown. If you get proper advice regarding a riptide, then the proper advice is to let go of control. Go with the flow. It'll eventually bring you back around to getting back to shore, which is where you want to go. Yes, it's counterintuitive. Why would I surrender to something pulling me out to sea? That's crazy. I want to go into shore, not out to sea. Well, this happens in our life too, right? How many times have you caught yourself in a riptide current, fighting desperately to get to where you want to go, where the ego wants to be in life, rather than surrendering to natural forces, understanding that they're serving your highest and best way more than the other humans on this planet that are trying to sell you a product and turning your problems into necessities and needs that can only be solved through whatever it is they're selling. Now, so when you find yourself fighting a riptide current in life, go with the flow. Let go of control and surrender. And you might find that current takes you exactly where you need to go, takes you exactly where you want to go in life. Unbeknownst to your conscious self and your ego, there's a lot of forces playing out here that is guiding us in a direction that's beyond our comprehension. Oftentimes, we're agents. We're agents of the divine intelligence of the universe. You want to call it God? Go ahead. I don't care what you call it, but it exists. There is a supreme intelligence overshadowing everything in creation. And it's also guiding and directing everything. Sorry, it's not random chaos for all you scientists that believe if you can't see it, then it's not real. Well, there's lots of things we can't see that we've all agreed are real, like love. Can't see that. Respect. Can't see that. Yes, there's actions that can demonstrate those qualities, but really they're intangible. There is nothing physical. Faith, right? Believing in something that is unseen is faith. You don't have to be a Christian to have faith. You can be a skeptic and have faith. You can be anybody and actually have faith. And in fact, if you are an entrepreneur and a business owner, like my ideal clients, then most likely you've got a lot of faith going on there, because the deck is stacked against us, folks. That's why we need to stick together. We need to support each other, because if you rely on big business to do that, all they want to do is squash the competition, even though it's really not competition at all. They just want to dominate 100%. The riptide fight. If you catch yourself struggling, try something different next time and just let go and surrender to wherever you're being dragged, wherever you're being taken in life. Surrender to it. See where it takes you. You'll be surprised, I promise you. Okie dokie. Want a bonus? You know me and my bonuses. I love to give out bonuses. Bonus time. Fourth example of misalignment, how it shows up in our life as human beings. Don't be a repetitive robot. If you haven't noticed, there is a concerted effort to replace human beings with robots. Why is that? Well, let's look at this as if we were a giant corporation with a ton of expenses and a ton of debt and very small margins for profits. Why would I want to replace my humans with robots? Well, robots aren't going to complain. Robots don't need to sleep. They don't need to eat. They don't really need a paycheck either. They'll work for free. They'll work 24 hours for free. What? Sign me up. I want some robots in my life. If I can replace annoying humans with all their human needs with a robot, then heck, let's do it. But see, there's a problem. Something they have overlooked when it comes to humans. We have abilities that robots just simply don't have. Can't comprehend. Even the most intelligent AI could never come close to what we have as human beings. We need to start valuing and appreciating our sublime uniqueness in creation. I mean, we're hardwired to connect to the divine. That's some powerful shit. Tell me a robot, show me a robot that can connect to the divine. Heck, most people that are manufacturing robots or promoting them don't believe in the divine. They're nihilists that don't believe in anything but science. I'm going to close this window here because it ends up throwing a bunch of lines on the front of my thing here, right? So do not be a repetitive robot in life. Switch things up. Do things a little different every now and then. You'll inspire yourself. But by all means, do yourself the greatest of favors and just put an end to being a repetitive robot in life. It can be in your relationships. It could be in your career. It could be in your education. It could be in how you interact with society. It doesn't matter. It's kind of a problem that we have as human beings, which is one of the ways we master something, is through repetition, right? You do something enough and it becomes second nature. Well, of course, that's one way to become really good at something. The other way to become really good at something is to let go of control and trust your divine abilities to learn and take on something that's new and unfamiliar to you. Just like in the Matrix, when Neo would get plugged in and learn kung fu in a few hours. That's alluding to what we are capable of. If you doubt me, take a look at children. Notice how much they can absorb at an early age. 5 languages without batting a wink. Is that the same? Without the least bit of struggle, they'll learn 5 languages. Meanwhile, us adults can't learn 2 languages without a lot of effort, a lot of struggle, a lot of stress and work, right? Well, what's the difference between us and those little babies that just soak up everything? Well, I would say that it has something to do with not being a repetitive robot. They're still unique and original beings until we beat that out of them and turn them into a robot unwittingly. Nobody's doing this on purpose to their children. They're just passing on what they were taught. And your parents passed on what they were taught, and your parents passed on what they were taught. This is how traditions get started. This is how we end up in a space where we don't question things anymore. Like, why should I get that shot? Why are you telling me something that is experimental is safe and proven effective when it's not even been used yet? I mean, these are the kind of questions that an aware person asks. Like, what's really going on here? What are you really saying? There's your bonus. Don't be a repetitive robot. Switch it up. If you go a certain way to work every day, try going a different way. Your whole day will be just an amazing and unique experience. I promise you. If you eat the same thing every day, or if you eat the same thing on Friday every day, switch it up. Do something different. If you have patterns, repetitive patterns, repetitive patterns in your relationships, for sure, definitely switch that up. Surprise your wife or your husband with a midday quickie or whatever it is. Whatever it is, just try to be as, I don't want to say impulsive. That's not the word I'm looking. Spontaneous. That's the word I'm looking for. Learn to be more spontaneous in life. It actually recharges your batteries as a human being. It makes you more animated, makes you more inviting to other human beings when you're alive with the divine. Okay? Awesome. Like I said, those are your 3 examples and what to do about it. Whoa, what to do about it. I didn't get to that part. Let me get to that part right now. What to do about it is obviously to definitely play the game and participate. Let me throw up the rules again. It's not that hard, folks. Present, moment, perspective. You drop present, I drop moment. You drop perspective, you win a free taste of a present moment experience. A present moment perspective. $350 value. Yours for the taking here today. All you got to do is drop present, I'll drop moment, and you drop perspective. I would probably save this post so that you can come back and check it just in case your notifications don't show you that I responded to your comment down below, which was present, and mine was moment, and then yours, you come back and it's perspective, done. Then I send you a message and we schedule it, and it's that simple. That's what there is to do about misalignment. In order for us to correct misalignment, we have to start with the number 1 most important step, which is to become aware there is a misalignment. Most people don't even see it. That leads to me popping up on screen. That leads to a failure. I mean, look at that. Nope. 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 This way. That point. Right over there. That's most humans' lives, including my life, until I discovered a present moment perspective. And I was able to catch the misalignments before they resulted in a real problem that created real stress and real struggle, like this picture that you're seeing right here. Don't let that happen to you. So the solution to misalignment is obviously, number one, become aware there's a misalignment there. Most people just put their nose to the grindstone and suffer through it, struggle, and work really hard trying to make it happen. And then it ends up killing them in the end. No joke. Here's a very, very simple example of what I'm talking about. Besides that, this is how it shows up in life. But I need to switch the let me hop in here real quick. Get rid of this stuff. And I'll show you real misalignment, how it plays out inside our own consciousness. Would you like to see that? Let me know. Okay. It's as simple as this. What I desire and what I believe, they need to become more aligned. They're misaligned. So if you desire to be an entrepreneur, but you believe you're not good enough, that's a misalignment. If you desire to date a gorgeous woman, but you believe you're not worthy, misalignment. I'm going to keep showing that there. I love showing this thing. It's just so beautiful. Just imagine those two circles coming fully together. That's being in alignment with yourself. When you're not in alignment with yourself, it looks like that. And obviously, the closer those come, the better they are. How do we handle that kind of stuff? Well, what do I believe is a function of, again, what are you aware of? Are you even aware that you hold beliefs? Are you aware that your beliefs create your reality? Of course, if you don't believe that your beliefs create your reality, then you're going to find evidence for that. And you'll make a very good argument to me or anybody else that wants to free you from your own limitations that no, my beliefs don't create my reality. I've got evidence for it. I'll show you. Well, of course you have evidence because that's what you believe. Proving the, what do you call it? The absolute, the constant that beliefs create my reality. Can't get around it. So you might as well start believing that your beliefs create your reality, number one. Number two, start being more aware of what you're believing that's creating the reality you're experiencing. Make sense? Otherwise, there's just misalignment, which causes stress and struggle. It's that simple. You want to know who I am? I liken myself to this guy. I'm Morpheus to your Neo. All I am offering you is the truth, nothing more. Might be inconvenient, might be uncomfortable to suddenly wake up to I create my reality, can be jarring. It can be very, very jarring. But what's the alternative? stay asleep, stay unconscious, bury your head in the sand, and keep going through those repetitive robotic motions until you die? No, thank you. I'll take the alternative, even if it kills me. I'll take self-awareness, even if it kills me. Because what's the point of life if you're not doing it deliberately? If you're not utilizing it to fulfill your purpose and make a lasting impact, a legacy, if you will. That's what I'm looking for. I want to know that this life didn't come and go in vain, that it actually was a valuable contribution to humanity as a whole. Search your heart and you will find that you hold the same desire to make a difference in this world. It's our nature, it's innate in human beings to want to improve and evolve. So I support experts and entrepreneurs making a difference in this world to operate from a present moment perspective so that they can have more ease, more fulfillment, more joy, more self-care, more well-being. Basically, if there's any state of being that you desire to have, the access to it is through a present moment perspective. Ease, well-being, authority, command, power. All of this stuff comes from a present moment perspective. If you're an expert and entrepreneur, I want to support you in operating from a present moment perspective so that you don't have to struggle and get discouraged by the familiar failures, defeats, curveballs, blind sides, unexpected delays. You name it, there's a million things that can go wrong when you're not present and aware in this life. And I do this through the Found Fun Discovery Method via intense one-on-one phone or Zoom meetings on a regular weekly basis. But right now, all you need to worry about is starting with a taste of a present moment perspective. I'm offering that to you free right here on this video by simply dropping present. I'll drop moment, you drop perspective, and you're on your way. It expands from there, and that is the whole point of starting with a present moment perspective. Once you have that down, then it's learning to operate from that space, which is new for most people. It was new for me. I am looking at my notes real quick. Just give me one second here. That's how it works. There we go. So just to recap, we were here exploring how misalignment is the #1 cause of stress and struggle. And I showed you 3 simple examples plus a bonus as to how that plays out in our lives. And I also spoke about what to do about it. Adopt a present moment perspective. Join me every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Facebook. Nowadays, I don't know where it's showing up. It's an event. You can find it on my profile, my page, or my group. Also on YouTube, which I would love for some engagement over there if you find yourself on YouTube. Every Thursday here, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am doing one of these value videos expanding on the whole idea of building a foundation of fundamentals when it comes to being human. Found fun being human yet? That's what I like to ask people. Have you found fun being human yet? Clever. That's one of my identities, is a clever identity. Don't forget, I'm giving away a taste of a present moment perspective to those of you who attend and play the game. The game is for me to get some more engagement. If you are on here, I also have my inner circle, which is my mailing list. And you want to definitely get on that so that you can be in touch with me no matter what, aside from the internet going down. Nowadays, a lot of these platforms are removing people on a whim because they don't agree with what you're saying or what you're sharing. I have a very revolutionary viewpoint when it comes to the status quo, so I'm not very popular on mainstream media. So you're going to want to make sure that you're on my mailing list, which is the foundfunddiscoverymethod.com/inner circle. You can see it right there on the screen, right there. And it's also on my Facebook page and my profile as well. There's plenty of places to find out how to get on my mailing list. If at all, at the worst, send me a message and I will definitely forward that link to you so that we can stay in touch no matter what. Last but not least, remember, the fastest way to get to where you want in life is with a guide that has been there before you. The ultimate goal of the Found Fun Discovery Method is to deepen a person's self-awareness. If that's important to you, if that's a priority for you, then definitely let's talk. It all starts with a present moment perspective, and you could stop there and have a very, very pleasant and fulfilling life experience just from a present moment perspective. For those of you that are ambitious and crazy mofos like me, you're going to want to go deeper. You're going to want to really access superhuman powers that are available to us through a present moment perspective. I so appreciate all of you being here today, taking the time, investing your attention, and learning a little bit more about how we as human beings operate. I will see you next Thursday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, stay present.